let's talk about loud mufflers. Let's talk about it for a second. Have you ever been laying in bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear something really loud come by your house and it startles you and wakes you up? It wasn't thunder. It was probably somebody's loud mufflers. Have you ever been trying to shoot a video, a live video at that, and somebody comes by and you have to pause what you're doing because there's loud rackets coming by? It's probably loud mufflers. What's up, Justin? Mark Littleton. Have you ever been trying to talk to somebody and somebody cranks up their car, comes blaring past you, and you have to stop your conversation because of loud mufflers, right? Experience that at some point in time, okay? Now the question comes in is why? Why do people think they have to put those loud mufflers on their vehicles or their motorcycles or whatever? Well, I have a couple ideas why. The most legitimate reason I've ever heard for mufflers, putting mufflers on there, is more horsepower, okay? And it does add some limited amounts of horsepower to the vehicle, and I can see where that would be a legitimate reason. Especially a dual exhaust on a nice sports car, has a good tone. Now keep in mind, I'm not against having mufflers on a vehicle that sound good, that have a good tone to it, nothing too loud, right? Some people like the horsepower. Some people like to have more horsepower. Some people like the way they look on a car. Say it's a dual exhaust car, like the chrome tip exhaust, stuff like that. They like to have the way they look. They want their vehicle to look better. But a lot of people do it just because they think it makes it sound good, okay? It makes it sound good. And for the life of me, I can't understand why these real loud mufflers make people think that that car sounds good, okay? Yeah, I can see it on a motorcycle. I'm primarily talking about vehicle, cars and stuff, but that's probably a good point there for a motorcycle. But what I'm talking about is, and I'm going to reference this to something else because, you know, I'm with analogies. Y'all know that. But if you ever been trying to talk or do something and something loud comes from down the road and it startles you to the point where you have to look up, and you look up and it's a piece of junk, and the mufflers on the vehicle probably cost more than the vehicle does. Does that make sense to you? So you spend this money to try to make a vehicle sound better and look better, and the mufflers look better than the car does. I don't care if it's a 4-cylinder, 3-cylinder, or 8-cylinder, because a lot of people think that they can go out and get these 6-cylinder trucks, put these big old mufflers on it, and make it into a V8 or something. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, Justin. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I get it with the motorcycle sometimes. Sometimes I can, explain that better. But still, coming around your neighborhood at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with loud mufflers, I don't care what vehicle it is, it's still an annoyance. What's up, Dougie Fresh? So, you guys know that I am more into analogies than most people, okay? So now, let's flip this. Do you know people in your life that seem to have a loud muffler of a mouth? Do you understand what I'm saying? They like to talk negatively all the time. Maybe they use a lot of profanity. They don't ever try to build people up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it seems like that those type people are never really trying to help other people. It's more about bringing maybe somebody to look at themselves by the way they talk, and what they say has no benefit for anybody around you. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a salesperson. I don't care if it's a manager. I don't care who it is. If you're not bringing value by what you say, all you are is a loud muffler that does nothing for the vehicle. That's all you are. So, as you go out today and you run across these people, remember what I said. Yeah, I tried, Justin. You know, I do all these analogies. Because oftentimes, people with the biggest mufflers have nothing to say. People with the biggest mufflers have nothing to say, and they're only interested in their own interests. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not interested in helping other people. They talk a big game. They're loud. They're boisterous. They cuss a lot. They use profanity, and nothing they ever say benefits other people. Y'all take that out there with you today, because I often, on TV, on radio, on social media, in my dealership, oftentimes the ones that have the biggest mufflers have the least amount to offer. Much like somebody go out and putting $2,000 worth of exhaust system or whatever on a $500 truck, that really doesn't offer the benefits to that particular vehicle. You see what I'm saying? That it would on maybe something a little bit more expensive, something a little bit better running vehicle. So today as you go out, if you're one of those, I hate that I offended you this morning. If you're one of those that like to talk a big game and like to bring others down by your negativity or your vulgarity and stuff like that, listen, you know what I do when I hear that? I tone it out. I can't tone out a muffler. I can't tone out a muffler that's driving by a lot of times, but I can definitely tone out somebody that's talking in my ear or around me, that all that negative jive, all that vulgarity and stuff that I don't listen to, because why? It does nothing to benefit me, okay? And that's what's unfortunate about it, because there's a lot of leaders, managers, what's up, Wade? There's a lot of people in this industry and other industries that go around throwing out all this vulgarity, and really it doesn't do anything to benefit. And all I can think of is you're just trying to bring attention to yourself. That's all I can think of, and that's usually what loud mufflers do. You don't have to have a loud muffler on your truck to make it look like a good truck or sound like a good truck or run better. You don't have to have them big old 8-inch or whatever they're called mufflers on there to make that vehicle look good. Therefore, you don't have to have the biggest muffler in the group to make yourself stand out. Stand out for good things. Stand out because you're trying to build people up. Stand out because you're trying to motivate people. Stand out because you're trying to help others and you're trying to lead them. Because ideally, when you're not trying to add value, exactly, if you're not trying to add value by the things you say, because remember, the tongue, the mouth is probably the biggest tool for building up and for tearing down. And if you're not using it for the building up, you're using it for the tearing down, because it's only one or the other. So if this affects you today, I hope you go out and you learn from it. If this is you I'm talking to, listen, put a different muffler on. Try to adjust what you're saying, because realistically, most people don't listen to that stuff. People that are trying to grow don't listen to that stuff. So I don't care how loud you say it or how much your inflection of your voice is. If it's not good stuff, it doesn't sound good to my ears, I tone you out. I'm just telling you. So I may look like I'm paying attention or listening to you, but guess what? I'm not. But most of the time, I'm going to walk away from that person, or I'm going to flip through it on social media. So I hope everybody has a great day today. Take a lesson out of the loud mufflers today. Take a lesson out of that, because I'm sure I touched somebody out there, and a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I don't mind the mufflers on a vehicle that make it sound good and have a good tone. I don't mind those. They're quiet. When you get on the gas a little bit, boy, it gives out a nice little purr. Sounds great. I'm talking about the ones that are on there that are so loud you can't hear yourself think. And guess what they're doing for that vehicle? Nothing. They don't do anything for that vehicle except for annoy people around them, which is what a lot of people do with the muffler of their mouth. Y'all have a great day. The fist pump guy. let me do that again. The fist pump guy, selling cars the right way, because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pump Enterprise.